I'm a huge fan of the UK's Daily Mail website. Trust me, this is one of the best websites on the entire internet. I could spend hours scrolling these pages and find the wildest, craziest, most amazing stories you won't find anywhere else. Anyway, as I was perusing their plethora of juicy, sensational, and salacious stories, I came across this completely batshit crazy headline. The 1,000-strong cannibal cult that ate raw brains and made penis soup out of their sex-crazed witch doctor victims. Wow. This story has cannibal cults, raw brains, penis soup, sex-crazed witch doctors. It's impossible not to click on this story. The story takes place in the jungles of Papua New Guinea. Now, Papua New Guinea is perhaps one of the most exotic and mysterious places left on this planet. Hell, I bet half the world don't even know it exists. To this day, much of the country's interior remains completely inaccessible. There's hardly any roads anywhere. Villages are virtually cut off from one another, and nobody actually knows how many people live in the dense jungles or what the devil goes on there. Well, I'll tell you what goes on there. Cannibalism. The country has always been home to cannibals. Colonization by Europeans in the 1950s brought some of these cannibal tribes in contact with Western goods, and they developed weird, doomsday cargo cults around these exchanges. There's this really good book about it if you want to check it out. The cannibals anticipated cargo deliveries pretty much as if these were alien encounters. Without a doubt, Papua New Guinea's cannibals are a proud people, and rightly so. I think most folks respect cannibals because secretly, they too want to get in on the forbidden flesh. I know I do. They wear the shrunken heads and skulls of their victims with great pride. Who are we to judge their loony religious beliefs and dietary needs? How dare us? Like many of you, I first learned about cannibals from cartoons like Bugs Bunny. Or that time Popeye thought a pot of boiling water was a hot bath, but was instead a trap set by cannibals. That Popeye. And I've always thought depictions of pigs dressed as chefs serving up the pork ribs was just cruel and somehow wrong. But as an anthropologist, I've studied cannibalism across history and across cultures. And sadly, it's true. Folks have been eating folks for a long, long time. The Papua New Guineans didn't invent it. They just made it cool and exotic. People must be delicious. Just look at those guys munching away. She's licking her fingers. It's so delicious. The story tells us that police have arrested some 29 cannibal cult members who may have killed at least 7 victims, ate their raw brains, and made soup from their penises. Why would they do such a thing? Well, we are told these 7 lunch victims were actually evil, unscrupulous, predatory witch doctors who were exploiting poor village cannibals and taking sexual advantage of them in exchange for their mumbo-jumbo sorcery services. Seems to me those witch doctors got what was coming to them. Toxic masculinity in the jungle. It isn't wise to mess with poor cannibal villagers for 2 reasons. 1, they are poor, and 2, they are cannibals. Now, if by chance I happen to stumble into a cannibal village and they haven't yet eaten me and they kindly offered me some soup, it would be rude and racist of me to decline. If it was eyeball soup, I'd just imagine it was goat or armadillo eyes or some such creature. If it was toe soup, I don't think I could resist toe soup, actually. If they offered me baby head soup, I'd have no choice but to partake, but I'd have to close my eyes. If they served me anus soup, well, I'd just imagine those buttholes to be chocolate donuts. And if they offered me penis soup, well, they just look like sausages, really, don't they? Honestly, I suppose I'd eat just about anything cannibals served me, as long as it wasn't me or anyone I cared about. When you're with cannibals, you gotta do what cannibals do. I learned also that in Papua New Guinea, they've passed a sorcery act to protect witch doctors accused of practicing black magic. There is no mention of a cannibalism act protecting cannibals accused of making penis soup out of witch doctors. Strange. The story quotes a local activist who said, and I quote, that sorcery was getting out of hand in the villages. Activists also said that sorcery used to be a good thing, but now it's turned into a kind of cult. That's right, sorcery used to be a good thing, but now it's a cult. But what really got me excited was this talk of cannibal treehouses. Cannibal treehouses. Wow, I wonder what that might look like. Tell you what, folks, we should refrain from unfairly judging the lifestyles of cannibals, even if every now and then they gotta serve up a batch of witch doctor dick soup. God bless them Papua New Guineans. Don't forget to subscribe, or I'm going to eat them toes.